What's up, everyone? It's Rahmel Reid here from Instinct Magazine. I am sitting here with the fabulous Lendale Johnson, professional tennis player, but the first openly gay player on the professional tour. Lendale, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I love the backdrop. I mean, it's definitely better than this bland wall. You're giving us drama, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I thought about actually changing a little bit so you guys can really see
Come
um, New York
through.
and Brooklyn. It's really a beautiful day,
It
but then
is.
I'd have to kind of go like this, but it's really nice out.
Great. It's a great
Yeah.
day. I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Manhattan now. What part of Brooklyn are you in?
I live in Williamsburg, actually.
Love Williamsburg. Good.
Yeah.
Um, all right, Lindell. Well, we know you live in New York, obviously, but you were born in Michigan. Is it Kalamazoo? Is that the
Yeah.
right What was it like growing up in Kalamazoo, and how does a boy from Kalamazoo end up in New York City?
Well, my family, we're actually from Chicago,
Yeah.
so I feel like I was born and raised in Michigan and Chicago because we spent so much time in Chicago with my family. Um, a lot, actually, quite a bit. My grandma lives in Chicago, and my both of my parents live in Michigan, so I'm always going back and forth so
Hmm.
much. But yeah, growing up in Michigan, it's a very regressive state, and I find that so odd just because we have a openly gay state representative, number one. Number two, we have a um, we have a gay mayor as well in our um, hometown, and a black
Really?
mayor as well. So I really thought that would have been enough to push some people around, but yeah, definitely very aggressive, very close-minded, small-town vibes for
Yeah.
sure. And I had to get out of there. Like, there was no way I would have been able to thrive if I stayed
Did
in Michigan like that.
Did you attend school up until high school there, or did you leave prior to that?
I left after college. Yeah.
What
Well, I
was what?
finished. Well, actually, I finished most of my. I did college in Chicago as well.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
What was it like? I feel like every gay kid can bond over their, elementary, junior high school experiences. But what was it like for you, going to school in a closed-minded town, as you say?
Well, I was in the closet actually. I was in the closet in high school, and I came out like right after high school. Um, but I mean, it's just your typical small town high school. It's very segregated. Like,
Yeah.
got your job. It was very much so like the Mean Girls like scene, literally. In my high school, you got your
I could really
jocks, you got your nerds, you got the hot black people.
love it.
Seriously.
I mean, did you have to deal with, even though you were in the closet, I was in the closet as well, but I felt like there were always rumblings and whispers and, you
Oh
know,
yeah. Mhm.
boys that didn't want to associate with me because of those. So you dealt with that as well.
I did, and I very distinctively remember a gay author coming to the school or something, like Trevor Healy. Does that sound familiar? Trevor or Trevor Healy?
It does sound familiar.
Yeah, and I was so in the closet at that time, but I was so inspired that I went to like the book reading or something. I went to that kind of to check it out. We had
Love it.
one gay guy that was out in my school, but it still wasn't enough for me to fully come out in high school because I just wasn't comfortable with myself. Yeah, I mean, I knew I was gay, but I still didn't even, I had no idea how to navigate that at all, you
Yeah.
know? And I still had a lot of jock friends that were cool with me too. I mean, I had a lot of friends. I was very popular in high school. I just didn't come out. Um, yeah, and I guess, I mean, I wouldn't really change anything. I mean, I enjoyed just, navigating my own journey when I did that. So,
Well, that's
yeah.
important. Feel the pressure to, have to succumb to,
Yeah, I
things
didn't
like
feel pressure to have to come out. I did feel the pressure to have to come out in school, but I just
great.
did it at my own pace as everyone else does.
Did you play sports in high school,
Can you
or
say that again?
Did you play sports in school?
I did. Well, yeah, I played tennis. I played varsity all 4 years. And I played the number one spot. I think my was that freshman year? It might have been freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, the coach had substituted me because the former number one was busy or something, so they plugged me into the number one spot. At that time, I was not as good at tennis as I am now, but it was more of a building experience to just be tough, when you're
Yeah.
challenged like that physically, and just really being there for your team. I remember my teammates told me they didn't care if I was gay or not. They just wanted me to win the match. They're like, we don't, Linda, we don't care if you're gay.
They just
Just
want to
win the,
brag.
they're just like, beat them, kick their ass.
They just like
But yeah, it was funny. We actually had our tennis coach was a lesbian, but she never really came out to the school, to the team. But everyone knew that she was, and I don't think she's come out to anyone else. I mean, I haven't talked to her in years, but everyone
really.
knew that yeah, like, everyone knew, but just nobody talked about it. And that was cool too. So I was just thinking, I was really inspired by her. I was thinking like, wow, she's totally lesbian and she never talks about it. And
Yeah.
everybody respects her, everybody listens to her. So I'm like, wow, it doesn't seem too bad being, like that.
I don't know if you ever heard it, but Joan Rivers has a famous joke where she says, everyone's always saying there's only gay men, gay men, gay men running around town. And they're always saying, where are the lesbians? And she says, are you blind? The lesbians are all in tennis. So it's interesting that your coach was a lesbian. But you were talking a little bit about how sports made you kind of, tough or anything like that. I was going to ask you, do you think we all know sports are vital to, kids' development? But what do you think it does for young kids who either maybe identifying within the community or struggling to identify? What help do or benefits do you think sports can give them?
I would definitely say just the community aspect of tennis and sports in general. Um, Sports you're gonna always be engaged by the people around you, whether it's a team sport or an individual sport. That's just gonna allow you to just present yourself, whether you want to, be visible or not. You're still gonna be, reflecting and confronting things. And I think that's good.
I agree. You can feel isolated when you're feeling like different, and so I do. Sports, the community is important. All right, so you did your schooling, you did some college in Michigan and in Chicago, and then what? You just dropped in New York. How'd you end up in New York?
Well, I actually had a professional tournament here in New York at the Rochester Championships. It
Okay.
was a warm up tournament. I played in the wild card qualifying tournament there. And after that, I came down to New York City because people were reaching out for tennis lessons. And, I came to New York City. It was really a dream. I mean, honestly, I flew here. I really didn't have much money. And I just had my tennis bag and a dream. And I just believed in myself, and I made it happen. I mean, that's the typical New York people coming to do what I've done. So,
What year did you?
um, 2018 is when I made that quest. I would say, I'm gonna call it a quest.
The great thing about New York is you can literally show up, like you said, just with a dream and your tennis bag, and you can literally start making money the next day if you have that hustle in you. So that's one of the great things. So did you just start kicking off your tennis lessons from there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, it was just like, it was divine alignment. It was like ordained by the gods, like the tennis gods. It was ordained because honestly, all this stuff that's happened it's really unbelievable. In fact, I met these uh, venture capital um, bigwigs here in New York, very that same year, and they had signed up for tennis lessons on my website with their phone, literally while I was, finishing a tennis lesson. So back then, I believe the lessons were $500 for a couple classes. I think back then I was only charging 100 per class, but the rates have went up more, obviously because of, um, you know, my value and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking, oh my, is this what it feels like to be in New York to make, 500 bucks just like that? It was very cool.
I love
So, and
it.
I've been with them for a while now. So they've been our clients with the clubs ever since
It
then.
was meant to be. All right, so you go from tennis lessons because you do have a tennis academy, the Johnson High Performance Tennis Academy. So 2018, you got some random clients who were like, "We want you to teach us tennis." How'd you catapult that into having a tennis academy?
Well, we actually had the tennis academy in Chicago. It started in Chicago. And then we just added a location here in New York. So we literally have clients that call for Chicago, and I go there as a head pro and just kind of travel around to different locations. Like we'll book like 4 or 5, 6 clients in one day, and then I can visit my family and just do business transactions and then enjoy the rest of the weekend. So, but yeah, it's been really cool. We have staff pros and things like that work for me. We had an intern last year from Spain. And then we have other tennis instructors that work under me. So if we get if our schedule gets really wild, which it has been, then we'll have our staff pros on the team coach those clients. And I make sure that I do all the logistics for everyone.
I love it. I'll be sure to list your tennis academy so people can check it out. Where is it located in New York City, though?
Our tennis academy is located in Tribeca. It's also located in Williamsburg as well. Those are the
Okay.
two main locations. Yeah, it's been really cool. We have QR code ads that are all over the city. It's been really fun. We had promos for Black History Month last month. Now we have like a $300 program for spring, because spring is here now. And then we have a specific LGBTQ tennis club that's only exclusively for gay tennis players. Whether you've
Oh,
played tennis before once or you've never picked up a tennis ball, it's really to break LGBTQ men into tennis. So,
I need to sign in for that because I'm the biggest tennis fan, but I have never taken a lesson, which is on my list for this year of things to check off. So I'm definitely going to be inquiring about that.
oh my
Talking
God,
about
yeah, definitely stop by.
serious, like as soon as we hit end on this call, I am texting you. But talking about the community in tennis, so you are the first and only active player in professional tennis to have come out and live your truth. So, one, did you feel pressure about that? I know you talked in the past about a tennis icon, Martina Navratilova, kind of reaching out to you on Twitter and supporting you and coming out. Just tell me a little bit about that. Tell our readers what that experience was like.
It was really shocking. I really didn't expect her to follow me. I asked her to follow me on Twitter because I had personal questions. I asked her. I don't know. It was just like I felt that it was the right time, and so she followed me because when the accounts are verified, you can't send them DMs. So yeah, so she followed me. Then I sent her the DM, and then she told me that it would be good for the sport of tennis for me to come out. And she also said it would be good for sports in general for me to come out as well. And so I did. And then after that, we even had Billie Jean King send me
Another
out some, shout outs. I've even heard from Venus Williams. Venus Williams knows who I am. She's,
artist.
my name has come out of her mouth. We actually have a partnership now with her company called The Sutra.
Okay.
And it's really great. Yeah, I did a Target commercial for them last year, and really just coming out has been really, it's been incredible. I've got a ton of paid partnerships and sponsors and things like that now. So I feel like if I didn't come out, I wouldn't have aligned with the proper brands and the proper things in my life to really follow that divine path, that divine alignment.
Right.
Nowadays, I'm all about divine alignment. Yesterday was actually the moon was in Virgo. It was in the
Mhm.
Virgo. The moon was in like a Virgo orbit or whatnot for yesterday, which is mainly Virgo is like it's the number one horoscope sign for divine alignment and everything being put in its proper place.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it's that's really my core values about everything is divine alignment. And that's and when I say that it's you want to align your core values with like your dreams, your goals and desires and everything else you want to build around that. So.
Right. I mean, I think it's great for the sport as well. And I think it's a lesson that, when you be yourself, whether you're gay or not, because especially in social media today, it's a lot of fronting that goes on, a lot of people not truly
Oh
being
my
there.
God. Yeah, say that louder for the people in the back. The
Right.
front is so real. No matter how
So,
friendly someone can be, they can totally be talking shit behind your back. Like,
right. But look how
yeah.
you came out and you're being your authentic self, and look at the blessings that follow. First of all, meeting three icons is like, I met one of them. If I even meet one of them, I'm probably gonna pass out.
Yeah, I
Um,
totally freaked out. I think when Venus, I think I got a little tear jerky.
a little
I don't think
flustered.
I cried. I did not cry, but I got a little emotional. That was
It,
cool because I mean, Venus Williams has done so much. Of course, for women's tennis, but even if you just identify as black, you know what I mean, and you don't have to put color into this conversation either. Just as an athlete, as someone that's come from poverty or whatnot, it's just really
yeah,
inspiring and motivating.
everyone you named at some point in time in one capacity was an outsider. So for them to fully support you and for them to also be iconic, whether they were outsiders for being gay or for being black in a white sport, So I think it's great that they support you.
Yeah, like I feel like injustice for like any type of situation is going to be a threat to justice for anyone else. I really, really do believe that for sure.
it,
Uh,
it's a very true statement. I'm glad that you haven't received a lot of backlash because how I first learned of you is you reached out to me on Instagram to correct something in an article that I wrote, and it was about a former tennis player, Brian Vahili, I think his name is, and
yeah, he's married
how
now, and I think he has two twin boys.
happily married, a father now, but he said he was afraid to come out when he was on tour because he would encounter homophobia in the locker rooms and behind the scenes off the court. So, have you encountered any of that, or have you just had a smooth sailing kind of journey?
The homophobia has still been around. I think that's just how it's gonna be for a while. But I just feel like just in sports, it's just testosterone. It's just so it's sports is such a masculine. It's the toxic masculinity is really really real. And I feel like when people get upset, then they'll say faggot or gay or something like Fognini did that, and that went all over. Then he tried to,
Yeah,
put the LGBTQ flag or whatever to support that. I mean, it's just, and it's so bad that people don't even realize, how something so simple could be. It's so deep, like it's so
it,
deeply rooted, just by
it is.
that. It's very deeply rooted. And I feel like me coming out is helping people, but still nobody else has come out. There should have been more tennis pros coming out on
Yeah,
tour. So far, it's just me. Novak Djokovic, I will say, did support me in coming out, so that's pretty good news.
oh, I love
Um,
that. He gets
yeah.
a
Um,
I do think he's actually, I mean, obviously I don't know him, but I do think he gets a bad rep, Novak. I think he's a nice guy. Like, he's pleasurable and he's funny. So I do want people to cut Novak a little bit of
well, I mean,
slack.
if you think about it, honestly, Novak, he's made history, and really, I feel like a lot of people don't like him because he's beaten everyone's favorite players. I mean, come
Yeah,
on, right? Why would you ever like someone that's beating your heroes? I mean, your athlete heroes. Like he's beat up, Federer, who's beat up, everyone. So of course, a
yeah.
lot of people are not gonna like him.
A few years and then
He's
left
he
still.
can't be touched. You know what I mean? I mean, but now I feel like it's been so bad that now it's become political. When you get when you get at such a level in sport, um, very similar to Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
You have a certain power as an athlete, and the world won't like, you know, won't like you having that much power and control over the world. And so you see all these things that have unfolded with Novak as far as, the media interviews and all this stuff with COVID. And it's really, it's awful the way that has happened.
I mean, I definitely am more, you know, missing. I'm missing Novak on the tennis court. Um, don't even worry about that. I can mute that out. It's being a New Yorker. The noise.
My neighbor, he stopped over the other day and he was very drunk.
Love it. Talking about that really quickly, because it seems like from your social media, you're kind of a little bit of a social butterfly. So do you enjoy going out in New York?
I do. I mean, it's fun. Some people recognize who I am, some people don't. And I just going out is great. I always go out with Murder now, like on a Friday or Saturday, and I typically go to a lot of gay bars. I mean, straight bars. I typically don't go to the gay bars. I feel
Okay.
more comfortable and open at the straight bars, actually. I feel less ostracized, if you will. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation with um, POC in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel more free and liberated, to be honest. And which isn't as crazy to think, but yeah, I definitely feel more free and liberated in the street
No,
bars.
I,
Yeah, I mean, I have this blog called Gossip Girl, and it's written in third person, and me and my team use that to really entertain the content on my social media.
I love that. I'll have to look into
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, since you're a tennis pro, we're gonna head into more tennis talk, and I just want to pick your brain as a professional. So it's once kind of just your opinion, and then we're gonna wrap it up with a quick and easy game. Nothing too shady. Well, we're
Okay.
just your opinion. Who's some of your favorite players on the tour right now? You can just name two guys and two girls. They could be older veterans or present day players.
Um, let's see. Right now, I'm definitely Venus Williams is one of my favorite players on the women's side. Another woman player would be, I'd say Serena too. Her, yep, definitely those two. And for the men, definitely Novak. He's such a great game. It's something to really just appreciate as an athlete. Novak, and I'd have to say Monfils. Monfils is
He's
really
always fun
great.
to
I've been
watch.
inspired. He's recently got married. He's been playing incredible. The last, ever since he got married, he's been just playing just outstanding.
Yeah,
Um,
for him, like to get just one grand slam, like he always says he wants. So I hope he does get, especially when athletes get towards like the latter end of their career. I'm like, just snag one if that's what your like goal is, you know?
and he totally has the game to do it. He
One
totally has the
thousand,
game to do it. Like
1,000.
hands down. Tiafo, he's been doing really great as well. I've met both of them. But yeah, it's really cool, to just see everyone just, doing their own journey. Everyone talks about age so much in tennis, the aging and the, what's the word? Uh, Goodness, what do they say? That not, I think it starts with, forgetting the term, but it's the decline. I was going to say the ageism and decline in tennis, right? As an athlete, obviously, movement is key to what's going to happen on the
Yeah,
court, especially as a tennis player. It's either going to make or break you. A lot of the top players have some of the best footwork skills and movement. These little things that separate you. Because with tennis at this level, the ball's coming so quickly, off a half step, you're probably not going to win the point. And if you do get the ball back, you're probably not going to hit it as well as you could have hit it if you were maybe a half a step in that right position. So footwork is just so key in tennis. It really is.
I
And
agree.
again,
Well,
that goes to movement. So
I hope you can teach me all of these things because I have I have balls and there's these tennis courts downtown in Manhattan, but I'm always so nervous whenever I'll like sign up and then
blue
I'll just
ones? Is it the blue courts
Uh,
downtown?
they are. It's like right by the river in the Lower East Side. I
Oh
don't know
my
the.
gosh, those are gone. They got those are like they just I think by the East River. Those by the East River and Lower East Side. They totally uh uh they wiped those out. They're actually going to be resurfacing them possibly, I believe. Yeah, that happened like last year.
I was about to say because at
So
the start
there's
of the pandemic, they were still there.
I know they started yeah, they definitely demolished that whole park area because they're like gutting it. They're gutting out that entire park. That's like the Lindsay something park. But yeah, it's they're totally they gutted all of that and they're doing it over. Um, no
Oh,
word to if they're doing bringing the courts back, but they're right now they're gone, and
good.
everyone's really upset about it.
Imagine there's not too many places to play tennis in the city. I feel there's like Central Park, and then there's a few places, but I feel like tennis is a very whenever you try to sign up, it's very crowded. Like there was always a little bit of a wait
It
time.
it's awful. That's why we have my tennis academy now to really get rid of all those issues in tennis here, especially in New York. It's a really elusive activity. It's really hard to play tennis here, and it's very expensive. So we're trying to kind of really fill in all those checkpoints to make it easier for players that want to play tennis.
Awesome, I love that. I know we mentioned Serena and Venus before we head into our game. Have you seen King Richard?
I actually haven't, and my reason for that is I want to see it with my coach or one of my tennis buddies, and I just haven't had time yet.
Okay, I
I've
get
heard a
that.
lot about it. I've heard. I actually got invited to the
I mean,
premiere with Rick Macy is my friend. We message and stuff. Rick Macy. He's invited me down to train at his academy, which I haven't yet. It's in Florida. But yeah, I would definitely see myself going down and doing some work with him a little bit.
I love
So
that.
yeah.
He's definitely a heavy presence in that movie,
Mhm.
and
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was great. So I definitely urge anyone who hasn't seen it to go and see. And it's just nice to see Venus and Serena hitting all the Hollywood parties and all the events and premieres, and it's
As
nice to see.
they should. I'm so glad they just recently on the cover Harper's Bazaar, I believe, very
And
recently.
I watch all the award shows, and no matter what room they're in, they get about a 90-second standing ovation, which just warms my heart. Like
As
people.
they should. Yes, God. Yes, God. As they should. Because
So we're gonna
they went through so much. They went through so much
are you
discrimination.
kidding?
They
Me?
literally. I mean, it's really unknown how much stuff they had to go through, and I credit their parents for instilling so much, you know, so many different things in them to have them be able to deal with all of that. Because racism is bad now, but I mean, during back then, it was just so. It was. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think
I didn't even know what to say. I really don't have any words. They've just. It's
talent,
incredible.
talent aside, I think their mental toughness to not only persevere on the court, but to have lived through what they have had to deal with in the sport, from racism, from being described as men in skirts, from so many different things. I think they have achieved iconic status, and it's well deserved. And I could have used this interview to talk about them and brag about them all day, as if I know them, but really don't know those icons. So we're gonna start the game off with those two, and what it simply is who will Lendale choose for a game of doubles or mixed doubles?
I
And
would. I would choose Venus. I'm going to be open about this. She has better volleys than Serena.
okay, all right, well, good because the person you choose, you'll have to say why. So Venus
I'm
makes
just saying that is why. I mean,
and
of course, it's
Serena,
in doubles. You want
makes
Bowser is
Serena
so cute and
that,
tennis.
and
Go ahead.
Venus is like what 6'1", so her wingspan is huge. She could definitely cover the court with those volleys. All right, so that was our first person. It's going to be all over the place. It's not just tennis players. All right.
Okay.
Little Nas X or Shawn Mendes?
For what exactly? For
Or
tennis? Or oh my God.
why do you think would be the better partner
For tennis?
for
Tell me.
tennis?
Um,
For tennis, for your doubles or mixed doubles partner?
Shawn Mendes. Oh, if
Why?
I'm picking for which one? Um, doesn't he play the piano?
I think he plays instruments. I know he plays the guitar.
I would I would say that because I feel like tennis is so it's very, it's instrumental. So
Okay.
maybe that would help.
Okay, no, that
Um,
makes perfect sense.
yeah.
Sense.
But as
Okay.
far as talent, it'd be really hard to pick though. As far as talent and looks, it'd be really hard to pick. But I would definitely say I'd say Shawn Mendes.
Looks for sure is hard to pick because listen, on a Saturday night, both of them can get it. Um,
Hello.
Martina Navratilova or her equally iconic rival, Chris Everett.
I would say Martina, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Like, isn't she a doubles expert as well? They
Oh my
team.
God. She has I believe she holds the record for doubles titles or something ridiculous up there with tennis history.
I love it. Have you seen her? I don't know if you watch. You probably don't have time to, but have you seen her on Real Housewives of Miami? She's like featured on the show.
What? Oh my gosh. I'm so busy. Like, I barely watch TV. I feel
Have
so bad when people tell me about shows. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
good things being like a pop culture like writer. You can definitely use TV time as an excuse and validate it by saying, "Oh, it's for work." Meanwhile, you're just being lazy on the fucking couch, you know. Um, we have a few more: Mariah or J Lo.
For tennis too?
Yep, all of
Oh, these are really good questions. Oh my God. That's a really hard one. Wow. I'm gonna say J-Lo because
okay.
of that enough movie that she filmed, right? She had to do fight training, boxing training, and in tennis, it's very much so boxing. So I took some boxing classes, and the same technique and um,
Footwork.
movements with your yep, exactly, is very, very, very similar to tennis. So I'm gonna say J-Lo for the win.
That's a smart. I mean, Team Mariah for everything else, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
slightly more athletic than Mariah, so I'm gonna go. I would go J
Mhm.
Lo on that as well.
Yeah, because I feel like Mariah, if the ball got closer, she'd be like, oh, just too good for all that movement and stuff. You know what I mean? She wouldn't be getting into it. I feel like Jayla would totally be getting into that, and getting very competitive.
One, Mariah,
That's what I'm gonna say.
and Mariah will be more concerned about the lighting on court. Like, darling, this
And
is
her
about.
outfit, both of them as they should. Because in tennis, the women get such amazing, looks and opportunities for their tennis skirts and stuff like that. So I mean, if I was a woman, I would be wearing like cutest tennis skirts
Of
and
course.
outfits all the time.
And all right, we got three more. Naomi or Tyra?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Naomi because I just love Naomi. She is awesome. I mean, Tyra
Totally.
Banks followed me on Twitter. I did casting calls for America's Next Top Model, and I didn't make it as far as I wanted to, but her and Miss J followed me on Twitter after a little bit of that journey. But I still would pick Naomi because she's just
I
so
mean,
so many amazing things.
that walk, like you just Naomi's been my
Her walk.
screensaver about 14 years old on my phone. Like, even when I was in the closet, she was my screensaver, and people would be like, "That's a little off," but okay.
Oh my
Um,
God, that's funny.
last two, Cardi B or Nicki?
Um, wow. I'm gonna definitely. Ooh, well, ooh, that's such another tough question. Wow. I'm gonna say Cardi B. I'm gonna say Cardi B. Yeah, because Cardi B is so. She has no filter. I mean, Nicki has no filter either. But I feel like Cardi B's no filter is on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
I feel like it's on a whole nother level, and I think she would translate that into tennis.
I get that. I think Cardi B has a little more hustle in her too. She's slightly more aggressive, so that might be good on the
Yeah,
court. All
yeah,
right, I'll
yeah.
one our divas who taught us everything about shade. And may she rest in peace. But Aretha or Patti LaBelle?
Oh my God. Aretha.
Why?
Aretha. I just feel like she caused so much drama. But there's always so much drama in tennis. And I just feel like she fits the bill. So
I was li-
yeah, I mean I feel like Aretha, right? She has that, that hit song Respect. So I feel like she's on court, they're gonna respect her on the court. Well, that's what I'm gonna say.
fair aspect, like how sometimes people are defeated by Serena before they even get on the court. Maybe they'll be like overwhelmed that like the Queen of Soul is across the net from them. All
Yeah,
right,
like I remember Aretha sang for Venus and Serena at the 2001 US Open.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it was huge. That was iconic because that was the first match they've ever played together. And
Yeah.
after that, I don't know if you know, but the TV network switched tennis to prime time after that.
Really?
Prime time, yep.
I,
Tennis
I
went to
mean,
prime time after that because the viewership was really iconic.
the Williams sisters. I mean, again, we could brag about them all day. I'll find myself in bed at like 1 a.m. and I should be out on a Saturday, and I'm like googling random facts about them. Like for a person who's never stepped on a tennis court, I'm such a tennis nerd. It's so weird. Um, have you heard the speculation about them for this year?
As far as as
Well,
far as
follow like a lot of tennis Twitter accounts, and like there's just a lot of chatter that they're gonna skip clay season. They're just gonna do Wimbledon and announce their retirement at the US Open. But obviously that's speculation. I'm sure they
I
wouldn't
haven't
tell
heard.
that.
Um, as a member inside the tennis trend, I have not heard that
It could just be these
in the
unauthorized
industry.
Twitter accounts making this up. So that's probably why you haven't heard it. But
No.
all right, Linda. I mean, I absolutely loved chatting with you and getting to know you a bit. And I live for the drama with everything going on. Again, you have the Jonhson High Performance Tennis Academy, locations in Chicago and New York. And you mentioned your blog. What was it? Gossip Girl?
Yeah, it's called Gossip Girl.
All
Yeah.
right.
Great. Thank you so much. See you.
Great. Bye, Linda.
Bye.